All right, Hawks traded forward DeAndre Hunter to Cleveland for Caris LeVert, your boy George Niang, and 3 second-round picks and 2 swaps.
Hey, why are you laughing, dog?
You love Niang, don't you?
Why are you laughing, dog? You know what I'm saying? Why
Ain't that your man, yo?
Why are you laughing, dog?
Every time I see his name, I think about you now.
Hey, man,
why do you dislike Niang so much? Let's start there.
We're not starting there.
Let's unpack this.
No, we're not starting there. I'm going to unpack the fact that this is a great trade for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It is.
A team that I have been low on all season.
Yes.
And they're sitting here at, one of the best records in the league, best top of the East. And they go out and they replace a guy in Caris LeVert who's a good player,
playing well,
hasn't, lived up to what they thought he could be as the third option, really scoring option, I should say,
yes.
or fourth scoring option,
yes.
I should say, for this Cavaliers team. And so they went and got a bigger, more physical.
He plays defense too.
Killer on defense.
Yeah, dude.
And on top of that, as good of a scorer probably as Caris LeVert is, and kind of fits more of what their team needs, which is less of a playmaker and more of a, hey, I'm a catch and shoot
system.
Go get it, whatever you need me to do, plug in kind of scorer.
Yep.
1-2 dribble, pull up kind of guy, go to the rim, finish at the rim kind of guy.
Great
I
fit.
love this fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. This is a sneaky one. This is one where, in my brain, it turns off from hey, maybe they could lose to the Celtics in 5, which I still believe, especially after watching that game on Tuesday, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I think this Cleveland Cavaliers team can go from a losing 5 to the Celtics type of team to maybe this does go to 7, and maybe they could beat the Celtics. We'll see.
What about the Hawks side of things? Because you've been really outspoken, I would call it, of Trae Young.
Yeah.
At some point forcing his hand and saying, you know what, we made it to an Eastern Conference Finals. I've been loyal. I got the bag. There's billboards of him in Atlanta.
Yep.
But it's my time. I want to go win now. Get me out of here. Do you think, because I know how much you love Niang, do you feel like at some point here, because the Hawks suck.
Yeah.
Trae Young's going to say, you know what? Enough is enough.
Yeah, I think they're buying into the tank. They also traded Bogdan Bogdanovic during this trade deadline, right before the trade deadline as well.
That's right.
So I think they're buying into the tank. Jalen Johnson is hurt. Clint Capella was being shopped a little bit during this trade deadline.
Yeah.
He ends up staying a Hawk at least at this time.
For now.
But, I believe that this summer is the summer we get Trae Young asking out of Atlanta.
So after the season, he has one more season and then a player option, right?
Right.
Man, I mean, if it's not this summer, he could ask this summer, but if it doesn't get done this summer, definitely next year, this time trade deadline, Trae Young's going to be the big fish getting moved, don't you think?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can't have that guy just walk out of your life and you don't get anything for him.
Right. Exactly. You can't. And so I think, like you said, because he's going to opt out.
Yeah.
He's going to ask for more money, and somebody's going to give it to him.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So he's going to opt out. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, yeah, Trae Young is looking at the writing on the wall, and he's going to say, hey, letting you know I'm opting out. I'm probably not going to return after this season. Let's get ahead of it. Let's not even get halfway through the season and figure this out. Let's just try to do this now. And I think Landry Shamet and co. are going to say, yeah, you're right. Excuse me, not Landry Shamet, Landry Fields is going to say, let's get this done.
You don't think Niang will convince him to stay, and that's not enough for him to?
All right, bro. Tell him what else we're doing in the rest of the episode, bro. Let's keep this thing rolling.